Do you know tea once ruled the whole world?
Where was tea originated? China. How India got colonized? Tea. Why slavery? Sugar plantation. For what? Tea. How British and Dutch got rich? Tea. How United States declared independence? Tea. And how the West invaded China? Tea.
Let's say China.
It's not gonna happen on much.
China, baby!
Waiting for the large area in China full of tea from the satellites. It's hard to make this video, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe subscribe first.
China used to control the world with tea. Britain got totally hooked on tea. Ottoman controlled the trade between East and West. They charged a lot of money from the West. The West needed to find a new route. They accidentally found America. Then they detoured to colonize India to take over the trade route. They needed slaves to grow sugarcane because they needed sugar for tea. Then America needed more tea, but they didn't want to buy it from Britain with high tax. There went the American War of Independence. So tea started the world trade and triggered major wars.
This small piece of green leaf from China changed the whole world.
You know China's doing something on the low. With all those tea, they're trying to rule the world again? So here I am doing some investigating for you.
The satellite image was correct. This area really blows my mind. Acres after acres of tea with no end in sight. Almost like a sea of tea. Damn, how is it possible there is so much tea in the jungle? Ni hao from Yunnan, China, the tropical jungle area. It's a pretty chill place, but something dark is happening inside of those lush greens. Let's go deep to find out.
Tea originated in this area of China. Forgot again? I'm walking amongst thousands of acres of wild camellias. But these plants are different. They may be genetically engineered so they can live in all types of environment. Even in this jungle. I cannot even bite it. Wow. But why are they doing this?
To investigate, first I arrived this mountain village surrounded by tea trees. There must be something happening here. Yeah, I found people working on their tea. There are even secret factories producing large quantities. And they are harvesting in a very harsh environment. I have to stop them from producing all those teas. These people, they are all forced laborers.
But aren't they just normal villagers laboring?
But they just look like they are, okay? Then I headed to the next village. There is a market over there, so all I can say is good for my story.
This is a local market, but they don't sell tea anymore. Where does all those tea go? Hey, don't zoom it in, don't zoom it in.
Hey, give me some mosaics on the plants. I just delete those shots, just in case there are some tea in the shots. Don't let them see it. They produce so much tea and they're not selling it. I think we got a conclusion.
China's trying to control the world again with this tea. But China's not even the largest tea producer in the world.
So how can it control the world?
But it doesn't matter. It is what we say it is. People never check the facts. Post. Job done. People think they know what a tree is. They have no idea. What we see is only part of the story. But beneath the ground, it's a whole new amazing world.
But they can make anything bad because they are the fake, disgusting news.
Yes, I am. How do you know, Mr. Trump?
This is really a sea of teas. So this is my favorite village to be UNESCO site.
This amazing place is a future World Heritage about tea, so of course it's full of tea.
Because it's going to be the first World Heritage with tea backgrounds and tea knowledge. Look at this.
We are on a bus heading to the mountains. The Jimaishan area is surrounded by Asian tea forests.
Surrounding me is all tea trees.
And it is likely that the true origin of tea is right here.
I'm in the middle of the jungle, you see? And those are the tea trees. They picked, they drank, they used for thousands of years. Crazy, huh? All those trees are Asian camellia. It's different from those tea trees in eastern China like Longjing. These teas are different though. Those are short teas, they can never grow big. So all the teas in Jingmaishan, they can grow higher, but these can only grow this big. Original jungle tea. They can grow in the jungle.
The villages of the Blanc, Dai, Hani, and Lahu ethnics are scattered in a vast tea forest. The age of the Asian tea trees seemed to be the history of the villages. For generations, they picked the Asian tea for consumption and brought the tea to the distant places through the Asian tea horse road. The earliest historical records go back to 1,300 years ago, almost the earliest record of the world about large-scale tea plantations. And there are even totems dedicated to the tea spirit. And from here, tea spread it all across the world, influenced billions of people and altered human history. Why it's called chai in West Asia and East Europe, but tea in other places, and only those two words? If you see this map, and you will understand. The ancient origin of tea is from southwest China, yes, around Jingmaishan area. The original word is la in local language, then evolved into da and ta, then cha. And for the world, it depends on whether you got a tea from China on land or over the sea. In northern Chinese language, Mandarin, it is cha, but in southern Chinese dialect Hokkien, it is more like te. So from India to Central Asia to Persia and all the way to Russia, Arab and North Africa, it's all similar to cha. From Malaysia down to South Africa, then to Western Europe, it is all similar to tea. But only Portugal called it cha instead of tea in Europe because they dealt with Cantonese in south part of China from Macau, and in Cantonese, it is pronounced as ta.
The history of the tea here reflecting the history of the people here. They've been living with the tea for thousands of years in the jungles. There is no boundary between the jungle, the village, and the camellias. Insects, the animals, it's all part of the system to form this heritage.
你眼看是森林，你走进去是古茶林。
你说让它果汁可以采下来吃，
这就不用包，直接压一下。
把它这样打开，然后就可以吃了。
甜吗？
酸。
我们现在正行驶在芒红村的这片百亩茶林之中。我这个帽子戴的实在太怪了，
这样一牙二眼，这个一个牙，两个眼。
刚采茶的时候，那个时候我才7岁。
I'm slow, man. I'm so slow. 我要劳动。2 hours of work. I'm slow, man. You're gonna fire me. Yo, I'm walking in the sunset on the same stone-paved road.
They don't allow to do asphalt road because it creates pollution. Stepping out of the jungle, we are right in a village where they process the harvested tea.
今晚上要必须炒，你不炒的话，明早上它就发酵了。
Here is not only about tea, but also where they live.
And this village is very, very authentic. It gives me a very authentic feeling. This view is just amazing. You see the smokes coming out of the rooftop. You see the buffalo holes on top of the rooftop. All those stone roads winding through the alleys. The wooden houses, the mountains, the valleys, the jungles. I just have to imagine how they lived here hundreds, thousands of years ago in this place.
There are quite a few ancient villages in this area. The most famous ones are Wenji and Mangjing from Blanc people and Nuogan from Dai people. They always talking about how China destroys traditions. Then what about what you just saw? They even renovate houses as its Asian styles.
The wooden structure, the way they built it thousands of years ago, the government are preserving it in a very good way. It's kind of a cool place, man.
And not only the physical coolness, but also spiritual coolness.
Yo, we can see more than 70 beehives on these trees. It's f***ing crazy, man.
And it's only on this one tree.
The hive is like organism, they're all together. It's a very holy place. I feel so blessed right now sitting below this tree of life, man. It feels like energy, man, pure energy.
For centuries, the Blanc and Dai have been ardent followers of Theravada Buddhism. This is a crucial part of their life, so I decided to experience as much as I could. Some morning prayers, a sacrifice, an exorcism, a big festival. Holla at them girls, showing off my musical talent, which is zero, and on the ground dance party, and some ghosts asking me for money. They even have a temple dedicated to tea. So damn cool.
Yo, I never can imagine I can experience this, all of this in my own country. I went to Indonesia and Philippines, I had experiences like this, but then we have this in our own country.
Yeah, all of these are really amazing. But like I always said, the most amazing part is always the people. The host in my hotel took me to the sunset. The old lady next door invited me to her house. The monk asked me to have a lunch with him. The kids love to play basketball with you. The local market is so vibrant with all types of food and people.
New La.
And they are always welcoming you.
然后这个就是我们家，所以你从小生下来就每天都要喝茶。
对呀，从小时候就喝。
用这个辣椒，直接用辣椒酱了。我今天做了鱼酱，回去就马上买。I feel so blessed to be here, to experience their life as it is.
For them, the taste of tea is like the taste of life. Sweetness comes after bitterness. It can be strong or it can be mild. It can be cold or it can be hot. The bond between them and tea has stood the test of time. Today, over 2.5 million of tea is grown and produced in more than 40 countries worldwide, all because of the curiosity and wisdom of the people from this area. Tea, a small piece of green leaf, a journey through time.
Now you know what's going on. This report is made in China. Hope to see you next time. Ciao.
China is ancient and profound. China is also young and open. China has many faces. You just gotta see it for yourself.
还有矿泉水，矿泉水。